Sprint races are back for 2022 to bring a little extra excitement to 3 race weekends. At Imola, Interlagos and the Red Bull Ring, we will be treated to 2 races over the weekend instead of just 1. Sprint races were new for last season, and some people absolutely loved them, while others weren't so convinced. But this season, the format has been updated, and fans are going to love the increased jeopardy the races will produce. Want to know how the FIA have improved the sprint races for 2022? Then stick around for the rest of the video. The Romagna Grand Prix weekend will be the first of 3 sprint race weekends for the 2022 season. The sprint races have been introduced to make them more exciting watching for the fans. So, when Charles Leclerc was asked about them, it was interesting to hear a driver's perspective. Leclerc said, "I had completely forgotten that we have a sprint race there. There are a lot of things that are going to be quite crazy in Imola for us, and obviously, other than that, it will also be a race weekend where we'll have a sprint race. Whether it's the right track to do so or not, I don't know. I think we'll have the answer after the weekend. With these cars, but also maybe it's a bit easier to follow. So hopefully, it should be an exciting sprint race and race." The drivers may have forgotten it was a sprint race, but we definitely didn't. The new 2022 regulations are making the racing closer, which means the sprint races offer drivers even more opportunity to improve their starting positions for Sunday's Grand Prix. So, what do sprint race weekends in 2022 actually involve? Friday starts with its standard hour-long practice. This gives the teams a chance to get their car setups honed to the track's requirements. Normally, practice 1 is a chance for teams to mess about with setups and upgrades, knowing that they have plenty of time to get the car's race setup sorted later in the weekend. On a sprint race weekend though, they need to be race ready by the time that practice 1 finishes, because later on Friday, they go into qualifying. Sprint race qualifying works exactly the same way as the normal qualifying session does. It'll be split into 3 segments, with the 5 slowest drivers dropping out in Q1 and Q2, before a top 10 shootout in Q3. Normally after qualifying, teams would be unable to change the setup of their cars before the race. This is known as the cars going into park firm. With sprint qualifying though, things are different. Teams are allowed to make minor changes to the car during the Saturday testing session. This allows them to take what they've learned during the qualifying session and apply it to the car ready for the actual sprint race that happens in the second session of Saturday. There have been some big changes to how the sprint race works. Specifically, the race is now worth way more points. In 2021, the sprint race was worth 3 points to the winner, 2 points to second place and 1 point to third. In 2022, points will be given to the top 8 places. First will get 8 points, second will get 7 points, third will get 6 points, and so on, all the way down to 8th place, which will get 1 point. These point changes are huge for the importance of the sprint race. They should make it less of a sideshow and make the teams take it more seriously. Drivers were told to hold back by their teams last year to try and avoid damaging the cars before the race on Sunday. But with more points on the line, there's more reason to really go for a win. The biggest prize from the sprint race will still be the qualifying position for Sunday's main race though. Whichever driver wins the sprint race will come away with pole position on Sunday and 8 points for himself and the team. Now that the sprint race has more value to the World Championship, are you more excited for it? Or are you more of a traditionalist when it comes to your F1 weekends? Remember Brazil last year? Lewis Hamilton made 15 overtakes during the sprint race before going on to win the main race. It was one of the best drives of his career. Perhaps Imola could see a similar performance from somebody. Let us know what you think of the sprint races in the comments below. And while you're down there, please subscribe to F101 and I'll see you in the next video.